Welcome to the Refine and Shine, the podcast dedicated to mastering the art of continuous improvement and optimizing every aspect of your life. I'm Angelina Rivera, your host, and together we'll uncover the secrets to refining our lives, our habits, and our processes to unlock our inner brilliance. Join us on Refine and Shine, where we'll delve deep into achieving more in life without the burnout and without all the stress. This podcast is your platform for a more fulfilling life through continuous improvement and personal growth. In each episode, I and a diverse array of guests discuss practical strategies for up-leveling every aspect of your life. From developing good habits and organizing your space to refining your mindset and personal goals, we're going to explore it all. Our guests share personal stories about the systems they've developed or systems they've used and the tweaks they've made in their lives when refinement was needed, allowing them to truly shine. Listen to Refine and Shine to learn how you can implement continuous improvement techniques in your daily routine, develop and maintain healthy habits that lead to success and satisfaction, organize your life to reduce the stress and increase your productivity, foster a growth mindset that propels you to new heights. My mission is to inspire you to take bold action, make positive changes, and become the best version of yourself. Whether you're aiming to elevate your career, nurture meaningful relationships, or enhance your overall well-being, Refine and Shine is your guiding light. With over 25 years of experience in continuous improvement, I help businesses streamline their processes, establish efficient work areas, and implement standard work protocols. I have trained over 600 individuals and teams in process improvement, optimizing workflows, and enhancing overall operational efficiency. Tune in every week as we embark on an enlightening journey, exploring paths to refinement and illuminating the way to shine in every area of our lives. Subscribe now and join us on this journey to polish your life and let your best self shine through. Thank you for joining us on Refine and Shine. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Refine and Shine. I'm your host, Angelina Rivera, and I'm so excited about today's episode because we're doing something brand new. It's going to be my first ever panel-style discussion. And I brought together a powerful group of voices for this conversation, and what makes it even more special is the diversity among all of our panelists. We have women in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, each bringing in their own life's experiences, insights, and perspective to the table. We also have one male guest who will be helping with this event, and so I'm super excited. And so today we're going to dive into something really thought-provoking topic that we can, and it's on how we show up, how we connect, and how we relate to ourselves and each other. So there's going to be some questions, some honest dialogue, and hopefully some eye-opening takeaways. So one of the themes that we're going to explore is the dolled up effect, a conversation around beauty perceptions, self-image, and the dynamics between men and women when it comes to appearance. So as you listen, I invite you to keep an open mind, reflect, and maybe even challenge your own perspectives. And my panelists, I hope that they had a chance to look over some of the questions and that we're ready to dive into some deep conversations. But first, let me introduce you to my amazing panelists. We have Brittany McDaniel. She is a multi-passionate entrepreneur with experience in the healthcare, real estate, and finance. She shares practical tools for building strong relationships, mastering financial literacy, and nurturing mental well-being. She is passionate about cultivating communities grounded in wisdom, resilience, and growth, and helping others experience a high quality of life. My next person is Kevin Brown. Kevin is a dedicated dating coach with a strong academic foundation. He holds a psychology degree from Harvard University and dual degrees in business and sociology from Adams State University. Kevin blends his deep understanding of human behavior with real-world relationship insight. He's currently conducting research for his upcoming book, The Baby Doll Effect, which explores how beauty perceptions and societal dynamics influence modern relationships. And my next panelist is Karen Diaz. Karen is a two-time pageant winner and currently holds the title of Miss Route 66. With a background in public service, including working for a U.S. Senator, she's deeply committed to community impact. As a performer and photographer, Karen uses her platform to support small businesses and amplify causes, especially those connected to disability awareness. And then I have Sarah Carter. Sarah is the founder of S Wellness, or Swellness, a wellness brand that helps busy women build sustainable, healthy lifestyles through fitness and nutrition. She's a certified health coach, personal trainer, and a nutritionist who empowers women to feel strong, confident, and balanced. Outside of her wellness work, she loves to spend time outdoors with her family and reading mystery novels. And then I have Lisa Hagberg. Lisa is a seasoned business owner and an entrepreneur with a passion for empowering local government leaders to serve their communities with excellence. With a rich background in public accounting and roles as both a borough manager and county administrator, she brings wisdom and clarity to the conversation. Lisa is all about connection, healing, and finding a common ground, even in the most divided of spaces. And then we have Kira Braun. Kira is a stay-at-home mom of 3 young children and the founder of Brighten Your Life, a skincare boutique specializing in Korean skincare in partnership with ramen. She's also the heart behind Cafe Through Chaos, a supportive nonprofit community and podcast designed to uplift and connect mothers through real conversations and meaningful events. And then, of course, there's me, your host, Angelina Rivera. I'm a coach, a consultant, and host of this podcast. I help individuals and organizations reclaim their time, energy, and purpose through process improvement, personal growth, and transformative conversations. My passion lies in helping others embrace who they are, shine in their strengths, and move forward with clarity and confidence. So, to kick off this discussion, I would just like to ask a few questions, and it's just a little icebreaker. What's the first feature you notice when you look at someone, whether it's physical, energetic, or emotional? So, anybody can unmute and share.
Anyone?
I'll go first.
Go for it.
I tend to notice someone's energy, I guess you could say, like how they come across. Are they, are they happy? Are they, reserved? Are they outgoing? Are they sad? Or just I guess more the emotional state that they're in. I tend to be hyper aware of that when meeting new people.
I love that. For me, it's their smile. And it's not because I'm looking at their teeth or anything like that. When I was young, I had really bad teeth and I was always hesitant to smile. And everybody always thought I was mad all the time. And so I was like, oh, that's the facade. Like, it's like you don't touch me. She's not approachable. So I just always make sure I smile. And sometimes I may have food in my teeth and not realize I'm smiling, but that's okay. That's life.
Right.
Anybody else want to share before I turn it over to Kevin?
I'll go. Same as you. I always go for the smile because it's always like the energy that they bring out. It's the kindness and the smile that they have. And it just, after that, it's like, are they going to be more approachable or unapproachable? Like, how welcoming will they be? So I always look at the smile just because that's where their energy comes from.
Awesome, awesome.
Um, I guess for me, I have been more aware of just the whole face in general. Maybe it's from their eyes or just how they come across. I don't know, something about them just changes. I don't know if it's an aura or the smile, but sometimes people aren't smiling and I can still be drawn to them. So maybe it's their eyes. They do say, windows are your eyes are the windows to your soul. So just, you know, but I don't know if I'm just drawn to them because they're happy. I've been drawn to people who are sad and I've been able to, like, I don't know, pick up on that vibe, and I'll just go over there and be like, yo, what's up?
Oh, I love that. Thank you all for sharing. And I'm going to go turn it over to open this up by asking Kevin some questions. And so, Kevin, why is the topic of male-female relationships so important to you?
It's important because I see something happening in our society, particularly when it comes to uh, relationships within certain ethnic groups. What I see generally occurring is a widening chasm, a division between men and women that is taking place for a multitude of reasons, but Having a background in social science, one of the things that I tend to focus on just naturally is the reason behind trends, changes in society, human behavior. Um, and it's just really interested me. I mean, you have this whole thing going on online. I mean, the advent of social media has obviously changed everything in the way that we relate to one another. But particularly when it comes to the whole male-female dynamic, things have just really changed. I'm probably one of the I'm probably the oldest on this panel now that I look at all these beautiful young women. So I've been able to watch things change, just more than once in my lifetime in terms of how things move in that whole relationship dynamic and the way we relate to one another as men and women. And so I've just over the past few years, I've started to ask questions, really dig into why things are moving in the direction they're moving. I mean, the whole issue with the family and people's willingness or unwillingness to be married nowadays. I mean, things are really, really shifting, and it's important, I think, for us to understand why, and then we can determine if it's important enough for us to do anything about it.
Well, thank you for that. The next question I have for you is, what is the problem, if any, with a woman wanting to enhance her beauty?
Okay, interesting question. Um, First of all, let me say this. I'm very cognizant of the fact that I am the only man on this panel. I'm likely the only one who doesn't wear makeup. But I'm very well aware of that, lady. So I just want you to know I'm ready for all of the shots. I have my pillow down here for me to duck if you decide to start shooting at me. But I can tell you, the whole issue surrounding makeup. Is it's not new. It's one that can be very, what's the word I should use? I don't want to use the wrong word, but it can be very controversial. Maybe that's the best word to use, especially when it comes to the way men feel about it in general and the way women feel about it in general. And I'd like to put those terms out there, that term out there very clearly in general, because we all have our own personal experience. We all have anecdotes that we can share, people that we might know that don't fit the general, that, don't fit the norm in terms of how they feel about the topic. But I can tell you that in science, when we collect data, we have to deal in generalities. We have to deal in numbers. And I can tell you that any point that I try to make, this evening is going to reflect things in general terms. Makeup is, a 7,000-year-old phenomenon. I mean, people have been wearing makeup for eons, for different reasons, and not just for enhancing beauty. Sometimes in the arts, for instance, people wear makeup to make their facial expressions, more clear to an audience. But we're specifically talking about modern day women and wearing makeup, the reasons you all wear makeup, how much makeup you wear, who you wear it for. So I think that's what we're discussing on this particular podcast. And I am open to any questions. I mean, personally, I feel like, and I want this to be very clear. I believe that you all have the right to do whatever you want to do with your bodies, as long as you're not impacting somebody else. I think we all have that right. If you want to wear no makeup, beautiful. That's your call. If you want to wear tons of it, that's your choice. What we're talking about is the why and the for whom and the how much and that sort of thing. So, I hope I answered your question at least a little bit there, Angelina.
No, no, yeah, you helped a lot. And you're right. We've been wearing thousands of years, like all the way back to the Egyptians wearing makeup and stuff. The thing is, why do we wear it and who do we wear it for? Are we wearing it for ourselves? Are we wearing it for others? And so that also goes to my thoughts going back to like the self-image. Do we love ourselves first is what I think of.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And so I only have one last question, then I'm going to turn it over to you to ask us questions. So
Sure.
my last question is, why do you think men often say they prefer a more natural woman?
Okay. So, I've spoken to men, groups of men, about this subject. And while there is some variation, there's typically more unity in terms of the way men view women who wear what most men would consider an excessive amount of makeup. Men prefer natural women for any number of reasons, but mainly because they know what they're getting. It's like, I had a young man uh, give me an analogy not too long ago where he said, I like my women more natural, just like a woman likes me to be more honest with her. And I think for a lot of men, it comes down to an issue of honesty and clarity. Who are you under all of that? Well, the less there is of all of that to be under, the more I feel like I can connect to you. I know who you really are. He gave me the analogy of a guy picking up a young lady on a first date, and he's driving a Lamborghini, and he uses a credit card to spend $500 on dinner. That may not matter. She may not care about the car. She may not care about the nice dinner. But if she later finds out that that's his dad's credit card and a rented car, does that matter? It's the face that he put forward, the authenticity of it. I think that's a big issue for men. Yeah, that's I think that's one of the main issues that men have shared with me that they have with women who wear an excessive amount of makeup. I also all commonly hear from men that a little makeup is okay. I think it's the amount. When you get into makeup, you also get into a lot of our conversations flow into the filters on apps. When you're taking selfies and then you're sending these filters to me, they're like, yeah, she didn't look anything like that picture she sent me when I met her in person. And I get it. It works both ways, but typically the trend is that that women use them more than men, and I think men just feel like it's dishonest. And we're talking about the male-female dynamic in terms of dating, in terms of relationships and building relationships. So in that context, that's what I'm hearing from men.
Thank you for that. And you and I have talked in the past, and one of the things that I tried to have another male on here, my husband, and he doesn't do these things, but he
Okay.
always says
Smart guy, smart man.
yeah. Is it always about like be the real you, like the real reals, and he always says that, and you know, and that's when we have these conversations all the time, like and it's just in general. So thank you for sharing that. And I'm going to turn it over to you to start asking us the questions. I think we kind of had some questions, and um so floor is yours, Kevin. Ask
Sure.
us
I just want to
questions.
I just want to go a little bit deeper, and go back to what the question that you asked the ladies earlier about what we first notice when we meet someone. In this wonderful world of psychology, what we're taught is that the first thing that we as human beings notice about other human is that is race. It's the first thing that stands out to us. And obviously, there have been studies done on this topic. The second thing we notice is gender. And thirdly, we notice attractiveness. So I think once we're past the first two, then we get into these things that you all mentioned, like smiles and height and body shape and that sort of thing. So I think it's important to be mindful of that, because that's, you know, this is like at least third and beyond in line. And these things, the first two, we try to get past that, but the rest of it, then when we do get past that, becomes that much more important. They take these other things take precedence. And we talk about things like you know, physical attractiveness, in terms of the whole gender dynamic, male female dynamic. What attracts men to women? What attracts women to men? Let's talk about it. I'd like to know, is there anyone on the panel who does not wear makeup? Okay, so I was right. I'm the only one. Okay, wait. Kira.
Actually, I don't know how much it falls into the makeup anymore. I do use an eyebrow powder to darken my brows. Otherwise, they're like invisible and I can't stand that. And I do wear a little mascara again, just to help the eyes pop. But other than that, I've recently fallen into a really good skincare routine and fallen in love with my face without the makeup. I tried to wear the makeup just the other day. It's all over my Facebook and my stories. I was like, dude, I hate my face today. I cannot wait to wash this off. Because I was watching myself in my past and I was like, oh man, I look so good. I love that look. I love the makeup. Look how nice. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna wear one more. And I did. I put it on. I was all, clearly I'm just not here anymore. And my husband was like, thank you for washing that off. So he's one of those guys that were like, clean face is better. Clean face.
It just is. I mean, for most men, it just is the preference. I mean, you know, we're not even going to get into, you know, it rubbing off on, you know, our clothes and the pillows and everything. We're not even going to get into that. I mean, that in and of itself is just, you know, that can be crazy sometimes. But yeah, I mean, your husband is, you know, he's in the norm. You know, he's right on point with most men that I've spoken to. And I try to, you know, speak to a variety of men from you know, a bunch of different cultural backgrounds and even socioeconomic backgrounds. And you know, there's this common thread that men prefer women. By the way, your skin is beautiful. I'm assuming you don't have a lot of makeup on right now. I mean, your skin is beautiful.
I don't. I do have the brow powder, I have the mascara, and I have a cushion. It's a combination of like a skincare and a foundation. So it's supposed to be healthier for my skin, but it does blend very well. And honestly, the only reason I'm wearing it is because I'm a little self-conscious. I have this spot on my face that's healing, and I'm like, I'm just gonna cover up the red. Like, so that's the only reason even that's on. I don't wear that really anymore either.
Okay.
And I would say for me, only thing I wear if I do is mascara. Is the only thing. A lot of people assume that I wear blush on my cheeks, but it's actually I've always
That's
had
just
the blush.
natural.
Yeah, it's just natural. In fact, I was so ashamed when I was younger that I would wear makeup and try to wear foundation to cover it up because I was like everybody, yeah, and that was
Really?
that was like a hard point in my life, like where I was like a teenager, you know, preteen, and everybody else was wearing these things, but I if it's a good day and I remember, I'll have mascara on. But other than that, and that's only if I'm going to be on a podcast or I'm going to go outside the house. But
Right.
majority, I do not wear it.
And by the way, ladies, there's no judgment. We're just speaking facts, and I'm trying to approach this from a scientific standpoint because, like Angelina said, I'm doing research for a book, and I want to get into, you know, eventually get into why we wear makeup. You know, because I've studied this a bit, I understand, you know, I don't just speak to men, I speak to women as well. And I have a pretty good idea why most women do wear it, but I want to hear it from this panel. I want to know why. Why do you all wear makeup? Anybody just give me a general answer?
Well, for me, the reason I wear the mascara here and there is because my whole family has long, beautiful eyelashes, and mine you can barely see. And so
So
so I do it because I don't
you're like
have
Kira's
eyelashes.
eyebrows.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
I
All
was
right.
gonna
Anyone
say
else?
I was gonna say pretty much along the same lines that I may not wear it as much anymore, but when I did before, it was always due to some level of self-consciousness about my face.
Mhm,
Like I felt like I needed the bright powder on my eyes, and I was
mhm,
always a more earthy tone. So I would wear the browns and the whites and but
mhm,
anything to make something pop, and I guess it was to pull away attention from my face in general and more
mm,
towards the makeup, something that I felt would be accepted and seen as
mm.
beautiful because I was
Okay.
very self-conscious about going out and just, being judged for maybe how I looked. I thought that if I fit in with the norm of makeup, I would
Right.
feel an accepted judgment.
Huh. You bring up a very interesting point, Kira. Um, Beauty standards. Who convinced you what beauty was?
All the girls in my high school.
Okay.
I would
Um,
I would love to hear, Karen, you had your face just lit up, so I would love to hear what you thought.
Um, could you ask the question all over again so then I can do the proper?
okay. All right. Well, let's start where we stopped off. Who convinced you what beautiful meant, what beautiful was?
Oh, okay. So for me, it was entertainment.
Mhm,
I grew up in a household where really you like my mom never wore makeup. Like
mhm,
the look just never mattered. Like presentation, nothing like that. So like I didn't really grow up around that. And then as I started growing older, like the girls were maturing faster than I was. So it was like I was watching them develop and I wasn't. And then it was like the makeup would come in and I was like, I have no idea what that is. Um, and the more I started,
That had to be a very uncomfortable position to be in as a young lady, not even knowing what to do with it once it was in front of you.
yeah, so
Yeah.
when entertainment became like it started blowing up, it was like the oh wow, like this is what I have to look like and this is what is the standard of beauty. And
Mhm.
because growing up I was very overweight, um, I was never considered beautiful. So it was always like I needed to match up to what
Ah,
entertainment said
okay.
and
Yeah.
like social media said, well, even though social media didn't really, I mean, MySpace was in, but that's really about it. But it
Mhm.
was I had to level up to that. And it definitely, I did it because I wanted to look like them, not because at the time I understood who I was as a person.
Mm. Now, now let's piggyback onto that. You wanted to look like them because you didn't understand what it meant to look like you.
Yes.
If if I'm a young man, and I promise you I used to be a long time ago, but if I'm a young man and I'm looking at a young lady to date, I'm looking at her as a potential wife, let's say. What is it? What do you think it looks like or it feels like to know that she's making an effort to look like something else as opposed to loving who she is? Is that a healthy situation for me to walk into? Which is more healthy of the two, right?
Um,
Clearly, yeah. I mean, I want the one who wants to be herself.
yeah.
Because if I'm going to love somebody, I don't want to love you wanting to be somebody else. I want to love you being you, right?
Yes.
And that's the sentiment I'm hearing from men.
Mhm.
That's what I'm getting.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, come on. We haven't heard from Sarah. Sarah and Brittany, everybody else is brave and stepping up. Let's
I'll
go.
go. Are we still on the same question?
We are. What's
Where we
beautiful? Yeah, what convinced you what beautiful was?
So I really related to everything, Karen, that you just said. I feel like I definitely growing up, I grew up as like my preteen teen years was like early 2000s. And like my mom also did not wear makeup. But and so like
I
I was
hear that a lot. I hear that a lot. Like my mom didn't.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was
I don't know if
not
that's
a
a generational thing, but I'm trying to figure that piece out. Yeah.
maybe like not a stitch of makeup, not nail polish.
Mhm.
And I wasn't even allowed to wear makeup till I was 13.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so
Is,
like
is that late?
I I mean my daughter started wearing makeup when she was in like definitely before 13, maybe like 10. I mean, not like heavy makeup, but like
Really?
I think it was because I was so like restricted, I felt that like she had way more leeway than I did growing up.
Mhm. Mhm.
But like I got my beauty standards and I thought what was beautiful based
Mhm.
on magazines, movies.
Mhm. Mhm.
Karen, I also only just had MySpace as I was a late teen. So thank God we didn't have all the social media that we have now. Like my
A
heart
lot of
hurts.
pressure comes along with that, right?
Yes. And
Yeah,
my heart hurts for girls who are growing up with no previous knowledge of what it's like not to be exposed to that on a daily basis.
Mhm.
Because it totally like just the what I was exposed to shaped the way I thought what I needed to look like, and that's why I also have no eyebrows, Kira. Like these are drawn on because in the early 2000s it was the skinny eyebrows that were all over the magazines and all over TV and the celebrities, and so I'm over here plucking away trying to get them even, and they just get smaller and smaller and smaller, and they don't grow back.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
that was me, definitely. I was
yes.
like, dude, what happened?
Right, it's a problem. So yeah, I definitely grew up developing what I thought my version of beautiful was based on looking like someone else and what I
Mhm.
thought I needed to be because celebrities and movie stars and people liked them and that's what they looked like. So if I wanted to be liked, I was a huge people pleaser. Then that's what I needed to look like.
Ah, that's an interesting thing you say. You
Yeah,
were a huge people pleaser.
I'm a
So you
recovering people pleaser.
uh, look, I
Covering
get it.
is
I
definitely
get it.
keyword.
Yes,
Yeah. So you were looking to fit in.
yes,
So a
100%.
lot of this has to do with fitting in,
Yes,
looking like the crowd because that makes you more acceptable.
right.
Okay.
Yes,
Interesting.
absolutely.
Interesting. Sarah brought up an interesting point as well when she talked about how old her daughter was when she allowed her to wear makeup. Anyone, well, let me ask this. Raise your hand if you are either married or in a committed relationship.
I am.
Okay. All right. Raise your hand now if you have a daughter.
I have two.
Okay. All right. So Kira, how old are your daughters?
I have an 18-year-old
Mhm.
and my youngest is one.
Oh, you have a baby. Okay.
I
Big game,
do. I
big
I
game,
also
big game.
have two boys in the middle.
In between. Okay. All right. Your 18-year-old, by the way, my daughter's name is Kira, so that's why this is funny hearing you talk about your daughters. So
Well, that's why you said my name right. A lot of
yeah,
people got
yeah,
funny
I can't
pronunciation,
get it wrong. Yeah,
Kiara, and
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah. They do it all. Kiara, Kiara, blah, 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 blah. Kara. Yeah,
uh-huh.
all the time. Your 18-year-old daughter, how old was she when you allowed her to wear makeup?
I wanted her to wait until 15, 16, and she actually didn't start wearing makeup through her choice
Mhm.
until 16, 17.
Okay. All right.
I know how
Interesting in the
destructive
in the
makeup can
difference, right?
be. I
Yeah.
know how destructive makeup can be to the face.
To
My
your skin,
mom
right?
is in the medicine and my dad always told me like mascara actually destroys your eyelashes. I was like, I'm still gonna wear it. So
Okay.
I really wanted her to get as late as possible into growing up and just really, like you've mentioned a lot, just love her face
Mhm.
before she tries to enhance it. Because I don't see anything wrong with enhancing it. I have worn makeup. I'm not against it on anyone else. It's the extravagant, bright
Mm.
blue peacock eyelashes. I'm a little judgy. I'm sorry, but
Look, look, judge all you want. I'm the one that doesn't judge. I'm not going to judge. Okay. Being a man, I'm just going to, be careful. Angelina,
So,
how old are your daughters?
I have one that's kind of like my daughter's best friend that I call my daughter. She's 28. She does not wear makeup. My
Okay.
daughter is gonna be 22 uh tomorrow, and I would let her wear makeup if she wanted at home, like play dress up, like if she had her little Cinderella gown or whatever.
Mhm.
Let her put a little bit of makeup on, but she still to this day does not wear makeup at all. She doesn't choose
Okay.
to. Every now and then she may do a little bit of eyeshadow if she's gonna like if it was like prom or a big event, but other than that, she wears no makeup. But what we did do all the time was do our nails. My nails aren't done right now, but
Mhm.
when we were younger, that was our thing. Mom and daughter would always go and get our nails done. And that was something that we did to beautify ourselves or just to get away
Yeah,
from the house because we had
yeah.
men at home. I don't know.
Well, you can understand how from a from a male suitor standpoint, um, we don't care about your nails. I mean, go get your nails done all day. We might even like them, right? When you get them done. Um, for us, the issue lies in authenticity. You know, are you you? Are you the you that I see? Right? So yeah, just since you bring up the subject, I don't think any guy has ever told me, anybody I've ever interviewed, any groups that I've ever spoken with, complain about a woman's nails. In fact, we appreciate when you get them done. So yeah,
Just to
that's
scratch up their backs. That's why.
hey, look.
I'm just being honest. I know
This
that's
is
what my
a
husband
family
says.
podcast. We're just gonna okay. So okay. So all right. So we talked about that. Oh my gosh, there was something that I was gonna ask next, and now it just totally slips my mind. But this is such an interesting topic. Um, did we lose? Yeah, we did, didn't we? Okay. All right. We lost Brittany, I think. I was just about to hit her with a question, a tough one. She knew it. She must know. Okay. So Lisa, please share with us. Um, where did you get your standard of beauty from? Where did it come from?
My standard of beauty probably came from, I also grew up in a home where my mom didn't wear much makeup, but I grew up in the 80s with the punk rockers and
Hey,
all of the
all right.
flair and fun. And
Mhm,
that's what I always thought I would want for myself. And
mhm,
I always let my kids wear makeup when they were very young. And like Angelina said, they don't wear any now. But we
mhm,
played dress up and, just enjoyed I let them wear makeup not gaudy out when they were young, but in the house and but my standard of beauty probably came from the 80s magazines and
mhm.
um MTV.
Sure. The people that we tend to look up to, that we admire, um,
Hmm. Yeah.
they have a lot of influence on how we choose to present ourselves to the world. Um, I've heard more than one person here on this podcast mention it was the magazines, it was the pop stars, it was it was TV. Um, do you think that those, just all the media outlets, do you think that those exert undue influences on us in terms of how we view the beauty standard? You think that it's just like a little much sometimes, that we pay a little too much attention and give them a little too much room to dictate how we view ourselves and each other?
I think that's an interesting question
I
because
see Karen nodding her head, the young, but you go ahead, Lisa, go ahead.
yeah, I want to say yes to that, but I also want to say that that plays a key role in how we end up finding ourselves along the way.
Mm,
Because
interesting.
we get to view those things, but then we start as we age, we step into who we want to be.
Hmm. Okay, nice. Karen, come on, let's hear it.
I would say yes, because it adds a lot of pressure.
Hmm.
For example,
Especially nowadays.
social media, it goes both sides. It's either positive or negative.
Hmm.
It can be the positive where you're trying to make a difference and you're showing the good out of things, but it also can be a bad thing because you enter into a game of comparison. Because again,
Hmm.
you're being sold on what you should look like or how you should act like, or what you're lacking or what you're missing. And then it's like, oh, well, we have the next new product that can help you out, or no, we have this.
Right.
So
That's right.
you're constantly just being shot things, and it's like, okay, I have to do this and I have to go do that and I have to be this person. And it's hard, it's complicated, because then you start kind of losing
You.
density of you.
Hmm.
And
That's
then it's
right.
okay, I have to get back to that person now because I know what I'm capable of doing and I know what I can do. But again, the pressure's just always there.
No question. No question. And you just led us right to where I was heading. Um, the money. There's entire industry that is based in you not feeling good about you and wanting to do what others have mentioned, be like the people that they put in front of us. So I think it's important that we at least acknowledge, doesn't mean we have to stop. I mean, you think you find beauty in whatever you find it, but it's important to at least know, to at least acknowledge that there's an agenda. There are people who make billions of dollars making you feel less than, making you feel like you need their product in order to be, words that I've heard tonight, accepted, in order to fit in. I think it's just really important for us to at least know that that's the case. And then, we do with it what we choose, but at least be aware. I think that's very important. Um, so tell me just okay. So we lost the only other single person on the panel. So Karen, you're flying solo on this one. So
Brittany's back though. She's here.
I can't see her. Why am I not seeing her? Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Now I see you. Okay, I got you. All right. I had to hit my arrow, my side arrow. All right. So you two. Now Karen, you got a buddy. Um, Tell me in terms of dating, have you ever asked a man that you've dated how he felt about makeup?
I have, yes.
Okay, tell me about that experience. Tell us about that experience. Excuse me, I'm not.
To be honest, it's always like it's a hit or miss. Like some don't like it, some in my first relationship ever, like straight out of high school, he always wanted me to wear pounds and pounds of makeup. Mind you, I had just come from not knowing anything about makeup.
Right,
And
right, right.
it was me navigating through that. And then it was like me hating it because I didn't like the way that it looked on me because it just didn't feel right. And then now it's like the minimal is the better. But for men now, they always want, well, the ones that at least I have met, it's always they want the fake eyelashes, the lip fillers, the
They
Botox.
want that stuff?
Yeah, so it's just like
Wow,
I'm not.
that's so crazy. I hear just the opposite. They actually tell you they want you to get lip fillers?
Yeah, they'll be like, oh, like the lip fillers are cute, the like the eyelash extensions, all that stuff. Like they're fitting into what society is selling
Oh,
them.
no question.
And it's always like oh man, I want to look like the same person once I take this off. Because if I were to wear pounds and pounds of makeup and you were to wake up next to me the next morning, I wouldn't look the same. So
Right.
yeah, it's
It's almost like false advertising, and maybe it's because I'm assuming that you're dating guys your age, right? So if you're dating younger guys, maybe to them it just hasn't settled in yet. That's you know, I can't imagine. I guess maybe at my age I can't imagine. Maybe if I were younger, your age, I would feel differently. But I can't imagine wanting to wake up next to someone that I didn't know the night before, right? That someone different. Like, if I was attracted to you in that way and I wake up the next morning and you look totally different, that would make me uncomfortable, I would think. That would just be something that wouldn't sit right. But, oh man, that's interesting that these guys are telling you they want lip
it's
filler.
like because I work in the entertainment world right now.
Mhm,
Like
mhm.
it's most people like want to be actors, models, and stuff like that. So that's what they're looking for.
But
But
let me ask you this. I'm sorry to cut you off. Please let me ask you this. I was just in Miami last weekend. And Miami is just in a lot of ways it's a newer LA on steroids, right? Um, do they all look the same?
like all models, do they look
Like
the same?
to me, when I see these young ladies these days, they all look the same. They all have the same lip fillers. They all have the same cosmetic surgery. They all look the same. And how is it that they feel like they're going to stand out? If you're looking like everyone else, what makes you special?
Yeah, that's where your personality has to shine through. But that's
I
where
guess so.
people miss it, and they only focus on the appearance.
I guess so. I guess so. Brittany, please. Wait, did Brittany leave again? No, she's there. Come on, Brittany,
I'm
chime
here.
in. Okay.
Okay, repeat the question. I'm so sorry. I have bad connection.
Okay, no problem. So we were talking about people looking the same. If everybody's looking the same, how do you stand out?
Um, looking the same like when you're wearing makeup?
Like makeup, lip fillers. Karen brought up lip fillers, right? Which I guess is in the same category. Hair, whatever it is. If everybody's looking the same, how do you stand out? What makes you unique? What makes you special? What makes you different?
You're talking in the context of beauty.
Mhm.
I think everybody's confidence and self-esteem, because everybody can wear makeup, but you can also tell under the makeup if they have self-esteem or confidence issues. I think makeup is a ritual. People use it as self-esteem. They use it for confidence. They use it as a form of creative expression, enhance their physical fitness features. So it just depends why you're wearing makeup. But I do understand like people who wear layers, have more layers, they have less confidence about themselves or less
Mm,
self-esteem about themselves, right?
mm,
So it just depending why you're wearing it. I
mm.
wear makeup and I don't wear makeup.
Right.
I can wake up 9 times out of 10, I go to sleep or the end of the day, or most of the time, if I'm not doing something on like this or something like that, or if I'm going out on a date, I'll enhance my beauty and I'll put on makeup, right? Most of the time, I don't have a makeup, so it just depends why I'm wearing it. And usually it's because I'm enhancing my beauty. I don't have confidence issues, so I can wear it and not wear it, but my confidence is through the roof, right? With that.
Okay.
And I understand, back to your point of honesty, people want to know what they're waking up to. And I've seen some people like, you do not look like that. Like, oh my gosh, the difference is crazy. Like, you shouldn't even do that to
Yeah.
nobody, right? That is
I hear
not
that a lot from men. I hear that a lot.
right?
Right.
Yeah, that's not ethical at all, right? So,
My husband actually calls it getting catfished.
It
yeah,
really, no, really. I mean, it is. It's
yes.
false advertising, right? Yeah, I mean, it really is.
But when you're meeting people out, it just depends on why they have that ritual going on, right? So if you're comfortable, some people, like a lot of the women, they're natural. That's like their natural thing every day, all day. I'm natural sometimes I'm not natural, but I'm confident either or. And I'm okay with that. So, um,
I'm gonna just piggyback on something you said. You said that the more makeup someone wears, the less confident they are.
yes, I've encountered women who has layers and layers of makeup, right?
Mhm.
And they tie that to beauty of or their value, right? Maybe men, they'll get hit on more or something like that. It's attention, right? Because some people wear
There we go. I
they
was
wear
waiting to
makeup
see
for
who would use
attention.
that
The
word
whole thing is
first.
attention. Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I,
it's
I
attention.
really was. I've been waiting to see who would say that word first, but that's a huge, huge word in this conversation.
Yeah,
Attention.
you want attention. You want to feel attractive. Um, you walk in a room and no one's looking at you. That hits their
Mm.
self-esteem, right? Like, because you start to question yourself,
Oh my
right?
goodness.
So,
Hmm.
and I'm really want to be very authentic and real about that. That you walk in a room and you're like, no one's looking at me. Like, or you see someone who has these enhancements and they're getting all the
And they're
attention.
getting attention.
So
Absolutely.
they're like, hey, I want attention. I
Mm.
want, because they're tying that to their value. Let me do the same thing, and then enhance that. But as far as me personally, I like wearing makeup and I like not wearing makeup, right? I'm not going to the gym with makeup on, right? Like,
Uh,
why are you
which is
at the
another
gym
thing
with
I hear from guys. I hear,
yeah,
and I've actually seen it in the gym. Women come in with a full face of makeup. Are you kidding? You're working out. You're gonna sweat, right?
gonna
Like,
sweat?
Yeah, I see that
why would
too.
you?
Or they get up extra early before the man wakes up and put all this makeup
Yes.
on, right?
Yes.
And I asked a woman before we're having this conversation. It's funny you're saying this. Is she says I had no makeup on, and my man said I don't like what you look like, right? And she said I will never not do that again. And then I just said, well, he's being truthful. I mean, so now you have the power of choice. Do you want to stay there or do you want to leave? Or do you want to attract somebody who likes what you look like or loves what you look like? But it starts with you too. So. But he has the power of choice. If he doesn't like what you look like underneath that, I mean, that's his power of choice.
I agree. I agree. Um, yeah, that's very interesting. I'm definitely gonna use it. The more makeup someone wears, the less confident they are. Um,
Kevin, can you wrap it up with one more question and then I'll ask the next question and then you have one question, we'll talk it up and then last question.
yes. Okay. Um, you know what? No, I'm gonna save that one for the next time. You go right ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to just have everybody just reflect on, because this has been a rich and powerful conversation,
Hmm.
and it's had my mind thinking about all kinds of things. And like when Brittany talked about how you show up in the room, like for me, when I show up to something different that I've never been in, I'm going to show up in a bright, vibrant color. And because I don't do the makeup stuff, so it's to me because I want to be like known, my brand, right, is like the orange, the purples, and those bright colors. So that's how I would show up. And so I think it's important is that I didn't realize I was showing up that way to attract people, but it kind of now I'm like, oh, is that why I'm showing up that way? Because so it's something to think about and how we show up in the world and stuff. But before we wrap
Okay,
up,
now you made me want to go ahead and ask. I'm gonna say that I have
okay.
one question for Lisa. Lisa, you talked about the 80s, so I'm assuming you're, my contemporary, right? Um, you're really cute. What do you think about attention? Do you strive for attention from men specifically?
55 years old now,
Okay,
and
yeah, we are contemporaries. All right.
I definitely have throughout my adult life strive for attention, but I am not there anymore. So I believe that the things that I do are really for me. Whether
Okay.
if I put on mascara, a little bit of blush, or I don't do any of those things, it's really it's how I want to show up, but it's how I want to show up for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Very good. Okay, I'm sorry, Angelina. I had to get that out. I wanted to ask Lisa.
No, I appreciate that because all of us have, and we didn't even, I mean, we just touched the iceberg. I mean, there's so much more we can unwrap in these conversations. And like, what do we do and how does our beauty tie into our professional aspects in life? Like, for me, majority of my life, I worked in a male dominated industry in manufacturing. And so, having to compete for that, which for sure you weren't wearing makeup because you had to climb up just the things. So we could always do a part two of this because there's so much powerful things
Absolutely,
that we
yeah.
haven't
No question.
unpacked.
Yeah.
But one of the questions I wanted to just ask everybody before we wrap up, I just love to hear one final thought from each of you. It could be a key takeaway from today, advice you give to your younger self, or simply what you hope listeners will walk away with from just listening to this episode today. So I'll start with Sarah. I'll start with you.
Yes. So I saw your question pop up in the chat, and one of the first things that came to mind, something I feel like it kind of is aligned with what we've been talking about, but definitely something I would have told my younger self and wish I learned sooner was that no one is thinking about you the way that you think about you. And to be confident in being yourself and who you are. I mean, because like everyone else is busy thinking about themselves. And
Right.
it's just the things that we worry about, even, like with the makeup and wearing it so that we get attention or we fit in and people like us, they're not thinking about us like we think they are,
That's
like
right.
they're concerned about themselves. And it's
That's
like
right.
once that can click in your mind and you can understand that and start to realize that, like you start caring a whole lot less about what other people think, and you can really embrace who you are and grow in that. And I know like that was just so freeing for me when I finally learned that. And I wish that I had understood that sooner.
I love that. Thank you for
Okay.
sharing.
And
Oh, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say, I was like, I would love to just piggyback off of what she said. It was so powerful, and that is definitely leading into what I was hoping to say as my final thought. When you learn to love yourself more, when you learn to focus on yourself and just really love who you are in the context of the attention seeking and wanting people to notice you, if you could learn that information first, I would tell younger generations, like, love yourself, love who you are, be proud of, start with your skin and just have that natural beauty, add on to it when you're confident in yourself. And then you'll actually find it's a lot less stressful and you'll get the attention you're seeking in, because I think the
100%
most
true.
beautiful thing that
Absolutely.
you can have is confidence. And
Absolutely.
confidence in yourself and self-love. So all that attention you're so desperately trying to grab with whether it's colors or makeup or hair, if you love yourself, you'll get that confidence, and then you'll get the attention you wanted all along, but you'll love yourself. And that's just such a huge part of just everything.
Believe it or not, ladies, I hear that from men a lot. Excellent point, Kira.
All right, Karen.
One thing I would say is don't be afraid to ask for help. Some of us have gone through things in life, and sometimes it has changed the way that you think about yourself. And, finding the people that are going to support you to get you to the place where, you feel the most confident to be able to shine a light. Don't be afraid to ask for help, because getting the help that you need is definitely going to be the thing to get you forward and to be more accepting of yourself and really finding like the triggers and everything and just growing into a better you. So, yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Lisa?
One of the things that has helped me to refine and shine is spending a little time with myself and just getting quiet, letting the world go, and spending about an hour in just my own peaceful presence. And I get lots of surprises in those moments. And so I want to encourage others to do that too.
Nice.
Thank you. Me? Kevin, what about you?
I really want to thank all of you for being willing to come on here and be open and so, honest about your personal experiences, your opinions. This is very helpful to me in my efforts. Like Angelina mentioned, I'd love to do a part 2 and go deeper into the whole relationship dynamic as far as this subject goes, as far as the men in your lives and how they feel about things. I think that can, like she said, we could fill a whole second podcast with this discussion. So I'm open to doing that.
Yes, thank you. Yes. Brittany, can you try again one more time?
Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Now we can.
I think it's my mic. Loving the stranger that once was yourself. That's my thing. You have to love every part of you. You're growing, you're evolving in very different spaces in your life. But just finding that place where you feel most authentic and organic. And love yourself whether you have on makeup, love yourself if you don't have on makeup, So just in loving that stranger and then that inner child and within you. So that's my take.
I love that. I love that. So at the end of the day, for me, it's happiness. Because happiness is an inside job. It doesn't matter it doesn't come from how others see you, how others feel about you. You have to love and be happy with who you are in yourself and who you are as a person. And you can't get approval from anybody else about how you feel about yourself. Like, you can't do that. And that's something that I've shared, and I've struggled with that a lot when I was younger. And now that I've gotten the inner child work and all the things, and just knowing that no amount of makeup or anybody's approval or any attention can replace the peace that comes when you're happy with yourself. And kind of like what Lisa said, is when you spend that time with yourself, just an hour, or being just intentional, just with yourself, it's so great. It's such a freeing feeling. And so that was mine. Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate all of you who have joined me for this podcast. And as we wrap up, don't forget to refine and shine, and share this with others who need to hear this message, with your young teenage daughters, any of those people, because this is such a powerful conversation and it's such a powerful episode. And stay tuned for episode 2.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Refine and Shine. We hope you find valuable insights and inspiration to fill your journey of continuous improvement. Remember, the key to success lies in refining your processes and letting your inner brilliance shine. If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Your feedback is greatly appreciated and helps us reach more listeners like you who are eager to refine and shine in all areas of life. Stay connected with us on social media for updates and additional resources and behind the scenes content. We love hearing from our listeners, so feel free to reach out with any suggestions, questions, or success stories you'd like to share. As we wrap up, remember that the power to transform your life lies within you. Keep striving for growth, embracing change, and seeking opportunities to refine your skills. Together, let's continue to shine bright and make a positive impact in the world. Until next time, keep refining and keep shining.